whatever.
It's like that one naked guy that was Jay Owen in the
Boom. That's how I learned about it. Was because of this exact thing.
Yeah, the Tiny World. It's a Tiny World or
it's a small world after all.
Yeah.
He's just spanking it.
So
in it.
that not only is that man getting arrested, he's also a registered sex offender now, right?
Sure.
Is
Yeah.
that how that works?
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
because there are kids there.
Okay.
But like, they took him away and they took him to one of their secret doors, and then you never saw him again. Well, I don't think they killed him. But after this, I want to go to the Mensons.
It's closed.
Oh,
It's Sunday.
I didn't know they were closed on today.
Yeah, they're closed today.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go to Walmart. I need milk.
Okay.
I have a proposal too while we're out and about. See if you guys will jump on it.
Pancakes.
No, God, no. Pizza.
Okay.
Yikes. Wait, where do you want to get pizza?
I have this Papa Murphy's coupon that it's buy one pizza, get one free.
Isn't that the take and bake?
It's a take and bake, and it's super expensive. That's why I was going to talk to you guys about it. I hate the idea of this place entirely, but I have a coupon that's buy one pizza, get one free.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we have
We'll
to
just
cook it
bring it back
ourselves.
here and bake it.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Episode 199.
199.
We're
Oh.
almost at 200.
Yeah.
By the way, if we do the thing where Zay's on our episode 200, I know the subject I want to talk about.
Okay.
We're going to have to ask him if he's down.
Yeah.
Down to clown.
I don't know how we get it.
So earlier we were mentioning about Papa Murphy's.
Yeah, Papa Murphy's kind of sucks.
Yeah, Papa Murphy's sucks because normal pizza places, you go to Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars, any of those places, they already have the pizza cooked, ready for you. Papa Murphy's, they came up with the brilliant concept of, hey, buy the pizza and cook it yourself.
If I want to like cook my own pizza, it's just
I'll
gonna
go
be
buy a
frozen
freaking
pizza.
DiGiorno.
Exactly. Thane gets it. Give me some.
And they're easier to cook. But my family, most time when we followed the instructions on the freaking DiGiorno pizza, most of the time it was still doughy.
I'll tell you.
Don't you mean Papa Murphy's?
Whatever. Yes, Papa Murphy's.
He's so
Sorry.
heated. Man can't think. You see him in brain fog. He's so angry.
Yeah, I love it.
He's seeing clouds.
I'm here for it.
I'll tell you my biggest complaint. That's one of them, the cooking thing. But my complaint's the price. It's $25 for a pizza.
$25 for pie.
You said it was buy one get one free.
Yeah. So if we all chipped in $5 or so.
Yeah.
Why are we all chipping in for a place we hate?
Because you got a coupon.
I have a coupon, and it expires on the 31st.
Buy one get one free thing.
I
It
feel
is worth it. if
I
you got
feel a little
coupon.
obligated. Yeah, I feel obligated to use it.
Oh, speaking of coupons, I had a high school boy knock on my door the other day and said, "Hey, I'm selling the football cards." And I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested." And in my head, I'm thinking, if I'm gonna buy one, I'm just gonna buy one from Sky's brother. I'm not buying from some random kid I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna buy one though. So I don't know if I deserve that.
I'm not gonna buy. I
to.
bought one last year, and I thought it'll be a kind thing.
That's how they work, dude.
And then I
You forget about them.
yeah. Then I looked, and it's like I'm not even gonna use. I don't even want to use half of these. I don't care.
This one I will say I think is better. The only coupon we used besides the Papa Murphy's one that I'm going to sneak in at the end of the race is that Putter's Pizza one.
Oh, you did use it?
Yeah, you used it. Remember? You bought us pizza.
I used that?
Yeah, we went to watch your dad
Yeah,
play.
that's right.
And then you bought one because that was your dinner for us. You were cooking dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so long ago, dude. That's crazy.
That was like a year ago. Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putters is a local place if you don't know.
Go bowling once in your life. Come on, everybody. Jeez.
I don't even know how far Papa Murphy's is. It's probably
It's by Smith's.
Yeah.
no. It's like around areas like
Oh, where it's
Like,
at?
yeah, in the U.S. I don't know how many places it is.
I think it's around.
Yeah.
I feel like I've talked to the East Coast gamers that we know, and they've said something about Papa Murphy's existing, but I could be lying.
Maybe they're saying Papa John's.
Papa John. Okay.
Papa
okay.
John's is everywhere.
You guys ready to hear the weirdest thing? In my whole life, I can't really think of very many meals that I just go, dang, that was the best food I've ever had in my entire
This is
life.
the Mexican Papa John's.
The Mexican Papa John's. I've told you guys before?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Several
dude.
times.
Holy cow. Mexican Papa John's was the best thing in the world.
Yeah, they're all over.
I have no idea
Yeah.
why Mexican Papa
Okay.
John's was so good, but I highly recommend it if you go to Mexico, eat some Papa John's.
Yeah, if you have a Papa Murphy's around. And
Sorry,
you tried
Connecticut, you got boned.
It, yeah.
No Papa Murphy's. No take and bake.
Now,
Are you like singing this song in your head as you go through
As
the whole
much
list?
as I like to talk about, as much as I like to talk about pizza, we can also talk about restaurants. Talk about a restaurant where a woman died from an allergy.
Oh.
And they wanted to stress like, hey, is there any allergies in this food? And they said, oh, it's allergy fine. She dies from, I think, a peanut allergy. And then so the man is trying to sue. It was on the is a restaurant in Disneyland,
Oh,
Disney
I've
World,
heard
Orlando,
about
Florida.
this.
I've heard about this too.
This is very funny. I
Yeah.
mean, sad situation, but
Like-
it's funny what Disney's doing.
Yeah, I don't think it's funny. I think it's very scummy of them. And so what happens is that the man's trying to sue Disney, and so here's the thing Disney could have said.
I might have
They
been
said
hearing the wrong thing then.
Okay, no. Here's the thing Disney could have said. They said, oh, if you want legal action, take it up with the restaurant because we technically do not own the restaurant. They own property. Like, we have them on their property, but we do not own them. They're outside of our legal jurisdiction. But the first thing they throw out is that, oh, since the man paid for a Disney Plus trial subscription, he can't sue us. And I'm like,
oh, I read that so wrong when I read
like,
the headline.
Wait, what? Why? And so apparently he had a linked account to Disney Plus where he bought the tickets, and so somehow that connects. It's like, no. Okay, no, Disney.
Do they have it written in fine print? Is that like
They have it.
your
They have
waiver?
it in the They have it in the terms and agreements section.
That if you subscribe to Disney Plus, you can't sue them over peanut allergies.
Yeah, it's like
Very weird.
No, it's like more like an arbitration clause or something. Like, I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but it's like they can throw this case out if you agree to that terms and conditions, which is ridiculous.
So I'm gonna give them the benefit right here, and then I'm gonna tell you what I thought was the funny part that I was just wrong about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, technically, if it's like a restaurant specifically, like a named restaurant, it's not really Disney's fault. You can't really just blame them for it.
He should sue the restaurant, but the fact that they stated that is like, no, Disney, what are you doing?
Here's what I thought it was, and this is where I was just like I said, I glanced at the headline and said that's effing funny. What I thought it was is a guy was trying to sue a company, and Disney was like, "Oh shoot, he subscribed to Disney Plus. Yeah, we're all for him. Like, get him, guy, get him. Go off, go off."
You thought they were on his
I
team?
thought they were on his side because they subscribed to Disney Plus. They're like, "Yeah, dude, we love you, man."
Nah, it's
Thanks.
complete opposite.
It's
complete opposite.
I really wish it was that. That would have been so much more funny.
No. But
Dang you, Mickey Mouse. Dang you.
If Disney if Disney claims that, we don't own the restaurant that's operated on there, then I guess he could. But it's like Disney probably is at some fault somewhere. I'm not.
I don't know
sure.
how it works. I don't know how
Yeah.
like the restaurants in the parks get their ingredients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I imagine they have to go through Disney a little bit, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they probably just get their own stuff. They just say, Disney, is this cool? And they go, yeah, it's cool. So I would say it's probably on the restaurant.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know all the inner workings of it all.
But the fact that Disney just had to claim, oh yeah, this man subscribed to Disney Plus, we could throw this lawsuit out. It's like,
that's very funny. If anything, it teaches everybody about not reading their terms of service.
Yeah, it's like most people don't read the terms of service.
Oh yeah,
nobody
does.
Nobody does.
Because like it's a million pages. Like, I'm not
That's
a lawyer.
The point. That's literally the point of why they do that.
Yeah.
So nobody will read them.
It's the episode of South Park where it's like, I think it's like Apple, like people didn't read their terms of service. It's like, and then the Apple executive comes like, hey, we got to put you in a human centipede now. It's like,
it's a joke.
what? Why?
That's
it's like because
right.
you didn't read
That's
the terms
right.
of service.
I remember
it was in the
that
terms of
joke
service.
From South Park, yeah.
I've never read a single terms of service that I subscribe to.
I read one.
Agreed.
I read one once. I don't remember which one it was. I remember I sat there, read the whole thing, and it was just like, that was so freaking boring and a waste of my time. All they told me was that this is the service, and these are the things with the service, and these are the things you're agreeing to. There was no like clever little if you get peanut allergies, we're gonna throw the lawsuit out. I didn't have any of that, and I was like, well, I'm never doing this again. This is a waste of my time. So that one company ruined me for the rest of my life.
But think about it though. Everything
what it
like
was.
new games has a TOS. When you download new launchers, you download apps. You freaking Xbox.
Every Xbox game has a terms of service. I remember.
Yeah, every video game that you play. Every time you boot up Call of Duty.
Every time I boot up a video game, you start it. It's like terms of service, read through this, and sometimes it'll click slow, and you have to like hold the joystick down all the way to go. And it's like just let me skip to the end.
At least they're forcing you to
actually
read
get to the end of it. Yeah. I always thought that was stupid, but at the same time, it's a very good thing that they do that at least. Because maybe somewhere out there, someone might actually read it.
I think there are some paranoid people out there that do.
Good on them.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people. I don't freaking care, dude. Like, whatever. What's the worst that could happen? They delete my account.
Yeah.
Well, you don't get to ever make the account.
What?
True.
Sorry, I might have misheard that. If you don't read the services, you don't get to make the account.
Oh, I'm saying like after I agree, what's the worst?
Oh.
What's the worst they can do? Delete my account?
No, they just throw out your lawsuit if you have allergies.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I was gonna go back to that though. Imagine being the gamer that gave the plate of food or that cooked it, and or the first they're like, "Oh, is there any peanuts or any peanut or anything in these food?" Imagine being the gamer that looks them dead in the eye and says no, and then you bring them the burger, whatever it is.
I don't think they need to feel bad about it either because they didn't know. They assumed that they were told that there was nothing.
True. I guess I was coming for the
either.
point of a very bad.
Unless,
like if the person knew and they're just like no.
Unless he was just stupid and like he was told that it does contain
Could
peanuts,
be.
then he should feel bad.
Yeah.
But if not, then no, it's not on him.
Yeah, you're right.
But from the statement he gave, they were stressing like, "Hey, does this have any allergies in it? We just want to double check."
No, I'm all for that. I completely
So that
agree
probably
with
is
that.
just like the person didn't know negligence.
There was somewhere down the line where either somebody A, screwed up and accidentally contaminated with peanuts, or B, somebody knew but forgot. That's what I guess.
I'm assuming those people didn't have an EpiPen because I think there's like paramedics inside Disneyland if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah. They're like in secret. They have like secret compartments.
They
where
do. They actually do. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
It's
Wait, hold on. Keep going then.
So they want to keep the image that Disney's the happiest place on earth. And so they sometimes have like the secret limo. It's like, hey, he's going on the secret limo. And it's like some dead person. They just throw them in there.
It's a Disney Secret Service kind of thing.
Yeah.
They have like hidden passageways and stuff all throughout the parks. And like say if somebody's like causing a ruckus or whatever, they'll take them away from wherever they are, figure out what's going on and either let them back in or whatever.
It's like that one naked guy that was Jay Owen in the...
Boom. That's how I learned about it. Was because of this exact thing.
Yeah, the Tiny World. It's a Tiny World or
it's a small world after all.
Yeah.
He's just spanking it.
So
in it.
that not only is that man getting arrested, he's also a registered sex offender now, right?
Sure.
Is
Yeah.
that how that works?
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
because there are kids there.
Okay.
But like, they took him away and they took him to one of their secret doors and then you never saw him again. Well, I don't think they killed him, but maybe I don't know.
I gotta say though, and I've only been to Disneyland one time, but to do that every single day, 7 days a week, all year around, basically babysitting that many people to me is insane that Disney doesn't have more things happen to them at those parks.
That's why I think a lot of it is swept under the rug because of the secret Disney.
So then there probably is more than gets leaked that happens at these Disney
I think
parks.
something like this, where it's an actual like somebody died, I think that's very rare.
Yeah.
But like the small little, some guy just spanking it in the corner somewhere, and then they grab him and take him away. I think that's probably almost a daily thing.
I feel like that's probably a good thing to keep under wraps, though, because if you get it out there, then that's going to be like, you guys freaking know how the internet is. Oh, okay. Well, now our mission is to go nut one in Tiny World and see if we can get away with
caught,
it. Yeah.
Oh, I hate the internet.
I do
hate
too,
you all
dude.
so much.
It's so dumb.
But I love you.
To learn, long story short, Disney's reputation just keeps getting worse. It's like they used to be like, oh, company of my favorite movies, and then lately they've not only like had just like awful lawsuits with the kid not putting a Spider-Man on a kid's grave, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
That was like,
Wait,
So-
they sued somebody for putting Spider-Man on a grave?
they tried. A parent wanted to put Spider-Man on the kid's grave, and then Disney lawyers came and said, "Oh, you can't do that. That's like copyright infringement." It's like, it's a kid's grave.
It's incredibly sad, but it's also incredibly
Why would
funny.
you even ask for permission at that point?
You just do it.
Yeah,
just
freaking
do
do
it.
it.
Just do it. Disney won't know.
It's
not like
very
it's not
funny.
like it's not like Disney lawyers gonna walk through graves like, is there a Mickey Mouse? Is there a Wolverine? Is there a Spider-Man? There, right there.
It's so
like,
funny to me.
Just do it. They won't know. Back in the But I remember back in the 80s and 90s, there were Mickey Mouse, like people putting Mickey Mouse on the walls and lawyers coming in and be like, you can't do that. That's illegal or something. And it's like, it's just they're not, it's not like they're advertising.
Those lawyers would have an aneurysm if they went to different countries.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm all for protecting your IP, but it's very funny that they get mad at people for not letting them put Spider-Man on Tombstone.
Yeah.
It's very funny to me that they do that.
Yeah, if you're scared that if Disney comes after me, just do it. They won't know. Don't make it public.
I don't know if you just say it like that.
Yeah.
To play devil's advocate here, though, these companies, all these major corporations, are under so many lawsuits. It's probably mind-boggling when you actually look at how many lawsuits that they are in. It's still sad. I'm not saying I'm on the corporation side, but I will say that lots of big companies do silly things like this. Disney's not the outlier.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Nintendo lawsuits that people have been like peeved about in the last couple years. And there's probably tons of other corporations too that have done silly things. Me personally, I don't really look into this stuff because I don't really care. I'm not really a Disney fan, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger ones though, because someone died, and so it got a lot more eyes, got a lot more attention on there, and people are like, "What is this ridiculous crap?"
Speaking of things that are bad, I want to talk to you guys about the Borderlands movie because we recently saw that as well. Cole and I saw it.
I missed out. I skipped out. Thank goodness.
Then you saved yourself a $10 nap.
Okay, what was worse, those Swedish fish or the Borderlands movie?
I ate those Swedish fish. I ate it during Alien.
I didn't know how. Okay,
Different bag.
Were those ones okay? Did
No,
you try
they
one
were
of those?
gross.
Nah,
they were as bad as your first.
The twin
ones?
colors.
No,
not those ones.
Those were gross.
Those did
like
Luke
those
bring
ones.
his bag to?
Yeah, his tasted better than my bag. My bag was disgusting.
Were they like mine?
Yeah, but they weren't expired. I'm pretty sure my bag was probably expired then because his wasn't.
Did they have that weird like coffee like taste almost to them?
No, not really.
So that was the best bag. I should
Yeah.
have just kept that one for myself.
Yeah,
then.
that bag was a W.
I was gonna. So, by the way, this is off tangent, but when I joined the Discord call yesterday, I didn't realize you guys were like going hard into it. So I was just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna leave now. Bye.
You can feel free to join. It's very casual.
I just was like trying to like do normal conversations, but I was like, oh, they're just really into this. I'm just gonna leave now. Because at one point I went, so how was the movie? No response. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.
It's probably because we didn't hear that at all. We were in the middle of a loud battle.
We were playing Elden Ring co-op.
I want to talk about that later too.
Okay.
Let's stumble on back to the Borderlands.
Back to Borderlands.
We're also recording. But
I think Borderlands was better than the Swedish fish.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think the Swedish fish is really gross. Borderlands movie, man, my expectations were set when people said how terrible of a movie it was. It was pretty bad.
You see, usually it's funny. Usually when people say something is terrible, it's like, okay, I'm not going to waste my money.
The thing that got me the most was nothing like the CG or anything like that. It was just the lines. The dialogue was incredibly horrendous at times, and that's what caught me off guard. And so, like, I was as similar as Sky. I went into expecting it to be just bad because that's what everyone was saying. I didn't expect the dialogue to be the part that was really, really bad. And it's not like your typical bad dialogue. It's like, let's just throw a random one-liner here. For no reason.
Like, I think one of the
bad.
most egregious is at the very end of the show, Kate Blanchett, who plays Lilith, the victory is won. The battle is over. There's a bunch of fireworks. And Lilith is talking to Tiny Tina, and she says, "Do you hear that? That's the sound of freedom.
That's the sound of peace.
That's that's the sound of peace." And it's like,
there's explosions and stuff. So for one, like, it's not great because it's explosions and stuff, and two, the line is just bad in general.
yeah. But they also set it up to where she's like doing like the Captain Morgan foot up on the balcony, all heroic, and drops a freaking beefcake of a line like that.
It's like it's supposed to be one of like the coolest things in the whole movie. But it's just not. It's just so not.
So with how bad the show is, we learned that in the Discord call we had afterwards.
Wait, was it? Oh yeah. Before you do that, so
to be fair, he was trying to get an earlier Sky.
Yeah. I was trying to get. Sorry,
I'm going to be with
earlier.
him on this one, and you were changing the subject. So
before you mention that, I want to say that first off, my history with Borderlands, I've only played the first two and the pre-sequel. I've only really played those ones. I didn't play much of the pre-sequel. I played a lot of Borderlands 2. Didn't beat it, but I enjoyed it. And with me not really caring about anything else after that, except for I played Tales from the Borderlands after that. Where the franchise is right now, when this movie came out, it's at a low point. Like, nobody really liked Borderlands 3 that much, and there hasn't been a Borderlands 4 like formally announced, straight up confirmed.
Tiny Tina's, but that's like
nobody cared about that. Nobody
I hope
cared
they
about
make
that
a
shit.
Borderlands the movie, the game soon.
Oh my god,
I'd play it.
Get a mod. But yeah, the franchise was kind of at a low point when this movie came out, and it didn't help that what Sky wanted to bring up was pretty bad. It could have probably brought interest back in, but
I think it's a completely different show.
Yeah. So what Sky said when we came home from the other movie, he said,
how'd you like the movie thing?
Yeah, he wanted to play the games less.
I mean, I've already played 1 and 2.
You didn't want to play the games after you watched the movie? That didn't excite you to go play the games right away?
I
bought all 4 of them.
Oh, did you? Did you beat them all too? Nice. It's only been
day.
3 days. I will say, the Borderlands series, I don't think it would make a good movie at all. Like, the story's not very good, and the game revolves around guns.
Yeah, it's
like millions and millions of guns. That's literally the selling
point
tactic
of the first game.
All of them.
All of them.
Number 2 is like, we got 10 billion more guns than the first game.
I remember the lines like, a bajillion guns just got more bajillioner or something. It's like, oh.
I think it's a bad selling point because I played a little bit of the first one. I was just like, eh.
Yeah.
They all kind of suck.
So the thing back then, like, it was sell points. Like, the guns are random and highly customizable. Like, no 2 guns are the same. And it's like, oh, cool.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, there are a lot of duplicates. But it's like, it like kind of like had a new concept of the looter shooter. That's kind of where it got like its footing, was the looter shooter, kind of like Destiny, Remnant, all those games. That's kind of where Borderlands started the whole
I think the guns
genre.
in Destiny are more interesting than the guns in Borderlands.
Yeah.
Which one did you play? Just the first one?
Just the first one.
Yeah, they get infinitely better.
Borderlands 2 is a lot better.
Yeah, legit Borderlands 1 to 2 it's crazy the jump they made because they really dialed in the fact that the guns is the selling point. It's like Pokemon but with guns. You're so excited to find a new weapon, try it out. Like some guns you shoot and then instead of reloading you chuck it like a grenade. And then another one just teleports in your hands. Some guns, the more you shoot, like you start out shooting so inaccurate, and then as you hold the trigger down, it gets accurate. Like there's a lot of gimmicks with the guns. That to me was the best part about Borderlands, is I just didn't know what guns I was going to get next.
But the nature of the game just makes you go, okay, well I'm gonna get the most optimal gun and use only that.
Well,
as the guns level as you keep progressing through the game.
Yeah, you keep changing out guns because you get like. The more you level, the more guns that they keep spawning. And also some guns, like, you need to be this level, kind of like level lock guns. So you keep cycling through guns at a pretty good pace.
When you get to the end of the game, though, that is, you do hit that point where you're like, okay, I found the guns that I like that do the most damage. I'm not going to switch them out. But that is more towards the end of the game because you can find gold looted guns in the beginning. They're like level 10s. But as you progress, they become worthless, and you have to just keep leveling up, which I think personally I like because I like it when games promote the player to try out and interact with different things, especially when it comes to a game that revolves specifically around guns. Of course, you want to try them out. And like I said, I compare it to Pokemon when I played it because I'm like, yeah, this is so much fun. Although I will say this is a little bit more, it's different than Pokemon because Pokemon you can level up your character and keep them with you the entire time. Whereas in Borderlands, the guns are expendable. Yeah. Like you don't get attached to a gun.
Yeah. Well, with that, let's loop back to the movie and tell us about what you were going to tell us about, Sky.
Yeah, so the movie was really bad, but we learned when we got home after that because one of our buddies did a bunch of research on it. This show was filmed back in 2021, and I think it had been done for a couple years.
It wrapped up in 2022.
Wrapped up in 2022. So there's a rated R cut out there of Borderlands.
Yeah, so the director, Eli Roth, he's known for these horror movies, these over-the-top violent movies. And so he was picked. He wanted to make one because Borderlands is a violent series. And so he decided, yeah, I'm going to make this violent. I do violent movies. And then the studio was like, no, we want a PG-13 movie. Eli Roth was like, well, I'm going to go make this other movie, which is a violent movie. Good luck with that. So they got the guy who directed the first Deadpool to do the PG, to like do reshoots and a PG-13 cut, which is kind of ironic if you ask me. But that's basically what happened. Like, there's an R-rated cut of this movie that probably is better. Like, they definitely did rewrite a lot of stuff and reshot a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure a few actors were not happy that they had to go back and do reshoots.
Well, you can tell, too, because there are points where I'm like, wow, that's pretty good acting out of these guys. And then there's other lines that are, like, in the middle, kind of spread throughout, and you're like, that person didn't even try
they
with
filmed that
line.
one in.
Yeah.
Literally.
That was the reshoot. They were like, whatever. Yeah.
I'm sure when Kate Blanchett said that line at the end, she's just like, you're kidding. You want me to say this? That's the sound of peace.
Peace. She almost says freedom. It's like, no, it's sound of peace.
That is really bad. The other thing, too, though, with that is the tone of the show was so different than what Eli Roth made. They had to get an entire new composer to come in and rewrite music to fit the tone of the show. But I thought this at the very beginning. At the very beginning of the show, there's a scene where Lilith is sniping at some gamers because she's trying to steal a car. She shoots a guy in the brain. Nothing. Like, there's no blood.
Yeah.
He just, and he falls over. But when I saw that, I'm like, yo, where's the CG blood? His head should have popped like a balloon.
Yeah.
Like, Borderlands it's rated M. It's very bloody and grotesque and all the sorts. It definitely should have been a rated R film.
There were some times in the movie where you could tell that, like, this scene was a good scene. Like, every now and then it's like, okay, for example, my favorite scene, I think, was the very beginning with Lilith, and she was at the bar with her catch of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know, her bounty. And the guys walk up and like, hey, we got a job for you. And they're like, she's like, no, I don't want the job. She shoots them all. And then the guy in the back, she's like, yeah, good job. And then she shoots him too. And I'm just like, that's pretty good, I thought. I thought that was funny. I thought it was somewhat well acted. Then he stands up and shoots her bounty. It's just like, I thought that was clever. I thought that was really good. And I'm like, how do people think this movie's like bad? And then I watched the rest of the movie because that was like within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
I wonder if Eli Roth was a part of that beginning.
He could have been because I thought that was clever. I thought that was a good scene. And like I said, there's multiple scenes throughout the movie that it's like, dang, that's not bad. That's not bad. I can see where they're going with this.
Yeah, I just think when it came down to it, I think the rewrites really, really, really ruined the show.
So, release the Roth cut. That's what we're asking. Release.
Should we start a petition? Start a
release
movement?
the Roth cut, man.
If they do, Thane, you're required to watch the original one and this one and the new one. You have to watch both of them.
Okay.
Watch the bad one first, though.
You have to watch
I'll watch the bad one first. But like, wow, it's really bad. I'll watch it on like one of those pirate sites.
As invested as Thane is into this lore, I feel slighted that he didn't actually see the movie himself.
I've never been invested
Absolutely,
in Borderlands
he's
lore.
invested. That's why he went off about all these different Borderlands.
At least he's played the games.
He was more invested in the conversation than any other conversation. He never watched the movie.
I saw the first trailer and I saw the casting. Was like, this movie's gonna be shit.
What do you mean?
That's what I first said.
Jack Black's a banger.
He was the best part of the whole movie.
Really? I thought people said he was the worst part.
No, it was definitely Lilith.
Yeah, Lilith was bad.
I even thought Tiny Tina was okay at times. Actually,
I've heard from...
Okay, number one was not Jack Black. It was actually Freaky Friday.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
I thought she did a good job, but I just think she's a good actor.
She played as like a paranoid nerd. She played Dr. Tannis.
Yeah. Dr. Tannis in number 2, at least, is she likes paranoid. She's like paranoid and like very like flirty with a lot of characters, and
I didn't even know
she's
she was
a
in
weirdo.
the games.
Yeah, she's a big part in number 2.
I thought she played that character that they made for her pretty well, just because I thought she was a good actor. I've always thought she's been a good actor, and I think she proved it here again that she was a good actor because she was really selling her role, I thought. I think she's impressive as an actress.
I think the worst casting that they did was a lot of people were bitching about Kevin Hart and Roland. Whatever, I didn't really care. I thought it was fine.
He could have been Mordecai. If they had Mordecai, he should have been Mordecai.
Mordecai got cut completely.
Yeah,
but
and Brick too.
Lilith was the worst. Kate Blanchett, she's a great actress. This was not her.
Yeah,
role.
like Lord of the Rings, iconic. She's been Oscar nominated. Well, I never seen it, but from what I heard, she phoned it. Maybe I should watch this. I should just go watch it
watch
on
the movie.
I should go watch it on one of those
Legally.
Yeah,
I don't
at one of the movie theaters.
You have to.
It's already bombed.
No, you have to go watch it legally.
They're gonna cut it out of theaters.
You have to go watch it legally.
I'll watch it when it comes to streaming.
There you go.
legally.
There we go. Give me something. I'm proud of you for growing up.
What was I gonna?
It'll probably come to streaming like in a month.
Yeah.
So I think that they should have casted a younger, more rebellious actress for Lilith.
Apparently, there was an actress, Jordan, our friend Jordan. He said there was an actress that wasn't there that could have played Lilith. That was another character, but she wasn't the one who cast as Lilith. I don't really get it. Yeah, like you look at the characters, like, oh, they're supposed to be this age. Let's cast an actor that's this age.
I have no idea about the characters in the game, so like I can't. I'm just
Lilith
basically
is a very
pointing it
young
out as like
20-something.
Cool. I'm just pointing it out as a person who just watched the movie, really, because I played a little bit of the games. I know nothing about the story or how the characters reacted. I just remember Claptrap was annoying, and I was shooting people in the head a lot.
Yeah.
And monsters, and so that's my extent of the game. So I just watched this as a movie. The pacing was fine, honestly. I thought like the scene to scene I thought was pretty decent, honestly. The ending was very quick all of a sudden, but for the most part, like I thought it paced well. So that like plot structure of the movie was fine.
There was a few Zoomer edits that happened towards the beginning where I'm just like, oh no, please don't be like this the entirety of the show. Like when she first she gets to Pandora and she goes through a monologue. She's like, yeah, there's all these bad gamers. She blows up a car real quick, and then within 5 seconds, she was on a bus.
Yeah. I liked that. Not the fact that it was like a Zoomer edit, but the fact that like it showed her going somewhere, and it's like a period of time has taken place in between this scene and this scene, and we actually get to see it for a split second. You know, I thought that was good, and I think things like that are good and very vital to movies that are set in a large area. That they move a lot. So
maybe we could talk about what we would have done differently. I guess I have a little more insight because I played the games. I think the Borderlands story is very average. It's honestly, it's not.
I also think the writing and humor is not very good. Either.
It hasn't aged very well.
No,
this is like 2000. Was it 2009 or 10? The first game came out.
2008, I think, and then 2010 was the second. If I'm not wrong,
regardless, that late 2000s. Pee-pee poo-poo humor. It hasn't aged great. The story of Borderlands isn't very good, but the world of Borderlands is very interesting, and I think they should have focused more on the world, the monsters, and the guns, and just they could have crafted a story. They could have just made it up. It doesn't really matter. I don't think any Borderlands fan is like, yeah, the Borderlands series is top-tier storytelling. Nobody says that.
No.
I think Handsome Jack is one of the best villains ever written in a video game. But the story overall isn't very good, and they didn't even use Handsome Jack in the movie anyway, so that doesn't really matter.
I think they were probably going to save him for the sequel, which probably will never come out.
If it were me, I just would have done it. It's an entirely separate story to set in the same world, and then every now and then you have little cameos from like the main cast.
like Fallout, the TV show. It's set after Fallout 4, and so it's a new story with new characters, and you kind of just build on that world.
Yeah. That's how I would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. That's exactly what I'd done. Just focus more on the world building. You could tell whatever story you want after that.
Yeah.
But they did get some of the iconic characters. Like Lilith is one of the main focuses in number 2. Tiny Tina is just a crazy psychotic girl that I think is very fun. Roland honestly didn't do that much for me in the show. He's just kind of there with a gun.
Who are the characters you play as that were in the movie?
Lilith, Roland,
just Just those
Lilith
two?
and Roland were in the first one.
You
first
play as
game.
them in the first
in
game?
the first
Yeah.
game, but then the big psycho guy you can play in the second game.
He's the DLC. He's a DLC character.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
And that's all. That's those 3 characters you can only play as. You don't play as Tannis. You
Or
don't play
Tina.
as Tiny Tina. You don't play as Claptrap was in pre-sequel. You could play as him in pre-sequel, but nobody played pre-sequel.
I want to give Claptrap a gun.
You have to play the pre-sequel. Then.
Yeah.
He gets a gun in that one?
Yeah, he's a playable character.
Ooh.
But yeah, the first game had 2 characters that they cut from the movie. It was Brick and Mordecai. And Mordecai is a cool sniper with a
Bird.
bird.
Cowboy hat?
Not a cowboy hat.
Oh.
But they could have probably given to him. And I think he's short.
I wanted him.
He's
to
a
have
shorter
cowboy.
character, so they could have had
I thought
Kevin
Mordecai
Hart
was
play him?
taller. No, Brock is the
Yeah.
giant. You're right.
Brick.
Sorry.
Yeah. Brick's the big guy. They could have Brock Lesnar play him.
They could have. He would have fit great.
But the fact that they just didn't stick to that, like maybe have the first Borderlands, like, hey guys, the first Borderlands exists, and then tease up for the sequel. Like they should have done like a super proof of concept, like, hey, here's the first Borderlands movie. We're gonna make the second one even better.
I think they should have just done to hell with it. I mean, I think what their idea of combining kind of like the first and second games as far as like some of the story plots, I guess you didn't know that. You didn't watch the movie. Let me explain that. Number one, the first and the second game, they kind of combine some of the story plots. Like, you know how Lilith opens up the gate in the second one? She's like the main.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, that wasn't the first game?
no. Remember how you kept saying, you're like, so if you play as Lilith, you just not going to play as her at the end? That's in the second game.
Oh, I was asking, like, if you play as Lilith in the first game, do you not get to just beat the game or something? That's what it was. Because I assumed that gate was in the end of the first game.
It is, but there's a second one.
It's empty.
Yeah.
There's the twist. It's empty. All that's left is a giant tentacle
How do you
monster.
open it if you're not Lilith?
Well, in the first game, it's somebody else that opens it. In the second
Oh.
game, Lilith is the key.
I see.
That's what I'm saying. They kind of combined it. I think that was a good idea. I definitely think that they could have casted somebody as Handsome Jack, and that would have been a huge foundation for the show, because Handsome Jack character, in my opinion, is what makes Borderlands 2 as far as the story goes. It's one of those villains that you're always constantly reminded that he's there. He's very quirky
What
and
about
funny.
the actual villain in the movie? What was his name? He was an Atlas guy.
Atlas Man?
I think, as far as I know, he's an original character that they made for the movie.
Oh. What if they just made him Handsome Jack instead, and then would it be a better movie all of a sudden?
No, they'd have to change the writing, and I think they'd have to do the story a little bit differently. You're gonna have to remind me, Thane. Isn't Handsome Jack just trying to take over the world?
He's a big corporate head. CEO of Hyperion. So yeah, he's trying to find the vaults and trying to harness their power.
Yeah, they could have done it, because the guy that was the bad guy was just the CEO of Atlas, I think. So boom.
Yeah, they probably could have. I would have changed the writing though.
Oh wait, I don't remember if Handsome Jack, whether Hyperion or Atlas, one of those big corporations.
So if it was Atlas, then maybe this was just a Handsome Jack fill-in.
Yeah.
What if it actually was him?
Yeah, in the lore, Handsome Jack
IMDb.
did kill the previous CEO of whatever company he worked there for. I'm pretty sure it's Hyperion. He killed the previous Hyperion CEO to take it over, and that's kind of where it all happened. But yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about this because I didn't see the movie. I didn't want to watch the movie. But I guess we can go on
His
to
name
a
is
movie.
Atlas.
Yeah.
The character's name.
Yeah.
Oh, his name's just Atlas.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's great writing.
Pretty unfortunate.
But I want to talk about a movie me and Sky and some other friends saw.
I'm going to give you guys so much opinions on this. Don't you worry.
let's
Because
go.
I haven't seen the movies. I have to give a lot of opinions on it.
Bro fist.
And I quite like these movies.
I hate it when the alien had sex with the alien. Ugh.
No, it was the
the
human.
predator got cucked.
It was the human.
Well,
It
not
was
to go
human,
not
not the predator.
not to go into spoilers,
My
but
bad.
there is kind of something that happens like that, but not how you think. It's a bit more
Eerie.
creepy.
Yeah.
We call it alien versus predator when predator is also an alien. So why don't we just call it alien versus alien? Dumb.
I guess.
Like that? I made that one up myself.
You
So we
didn't
went
take
and
that
watched.
from Reddit?
We went and watched
No, it's me.
Alien.
It's Cole original.
Yeah, we watched Alien Romulus. It's a alien movie set in between Alien and Aliens.
So 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2. And so instead of just like being this lore changing movie like what Prometheus or Alien Covenant tried to be, it's just a movie set in the world with a bunch of characters. It's just a side plot that doesn't really change much, but like it does kind of like give you insight on how the world in the Alien franchise works. And it was very fun. It was very interesting, very fun. It was a lot better than what people probably were expecting, especially since the last two Alien movies released. And that's because the guy who directed it just likes the Alien movies. And he said he was inspired by Alien Isolation to make this movie. And
I've never seen an Aliens movie, by the way.
Yeah, I think you should watch the first one. It's very creepy, very tense.
They're horror movies.
Yeah. It's very.
I probably won't care for the movie.
Yeah, it's very impressive. It's technically impressive for a '70s movie. Like it was '79, and like, the set design and the
props and puppets.
Yeah, the puppeteering. It's like, wow, this feels ahead of its time. Like I thought Star Wars was impressive, but this one's probably inspired by Star Wars and to a degree, but like this is like how the design of the xenomorph, the design of the ship, like all the interfaces on the screen. It's very iconic. And they do replicate that in Romulus. They replicate a lot of that and also kind of modernize it.
They had a lot of practical effects.
They had a lot of practical effects. All those, like the hallways that they were actual hallways they were walking down.
But even the scenes with the aliens, like when the aliens weren't moving, it was like close-ups. Those were like puppets.
Those looked like animatronics.
Yeah, animatronics.
Yeah. It's a very what was I gonna say? It's a like a cool world that they're exploring, and I'm glad that there's a movie that just like kind of just like say, hey, look at this cool world that we're just kind of expanding upon. And the lore, I like how the lore, like they tie it in very well to like how the like these. So the basic story is like these 5 people go up into a ship, a wreckage from the Weyland-Yutani company. That's like the big company in the Alien universe, and they're trying to find cryopods in this big wreckage to get to another planet, which will take like I think like 9 years to get to, and so they'll cryo freeze themselves so they don't have to eat, and they'll just go to the ship to they'll just go to the planet while they're in the cryopods. Unfortunately, when they need to get more fuel, they in the cryo room they unleash face huggers, which are the things that
Half-Life.
Yeah, that's what inspired the head crabs from Half-Life, and so they're like these spider-looking things, and when they attach onto your face, yeah.
Are you just like retelling the story of the movie? Because I have no idea where you're going. I'm so lost.
Sorry, no, like it's like a beginning summary. Like so, they release the face huggers, which are like these spider-like things, and when they attach onto your face, they put their little tongue down their throat.
They're alienists.
Their sex organ.
Yeah, and they pump.
They have some alien intercourse with your face.
Yeah, and
literally.
They pump the fluids inside of them into your
abdomen.
body, and then
like an ant.
Yeah, and then the alien mutates inside
and
there.
that's when it goes.
Yeah, bursts out your chest.
In Fortnite, I seen it in Fortnite. That's how I know about it.
Yeah, and someone gets face hugged. The person on the poster, they kind of spoil that there, and a chest burster comes out.
It's okay. I don't know if he's talking about the new movie or the old movie or what's happening here.
Here's the thing though, I'm not gonna say that they're the same, but this new movie was basically just massive fan service for everybody that is a fan of the show.
It was doing the same story beats as the original Alien movie.
So it was like Star Wars: A New Hope and Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yeah, something
literally.
Like that. Yeah. But this one, isn't trying to be a new big saga in the next stories. It's just a tiny story in the bigger Alien universe. There's no Ripley. There's no Ellen Ripley, Sigourney Weaver.
Ripley's Believe It or
Yeah.
Not.
From what I gather, this is like a breath of fresh air for Alien fans.
Yeah. Like, yeah,
and that's
this
why
is-
nobody cares that they've already seen it or done
Yeah.
it, because they're like, well, we had poop a couple years. We've had a lot of poop. I'll take this.
Yes, this is like made by Alien fans for Alien fans, and it works. It works really well. Like, yeah, like the effects. Like, there was a lot of creepy, intense moments, like how Alien was. Like, they got to walk down a hallway and there's face huggers everywhere. It's like they'll feel your body temperature. We need to raise the room to the body temperature. Do not react. Like, do not change your body temperature.
Don't sweat. Don't get
sweat.
nervous.
Just keep walking. They won't move. And it's like very creepy, very intense. You're like, oh,
Go off,
Lord.
Alien fans.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had
The
this.
acting was really good too.
yeah.
That's
like,
cool.
I was very impressed by. There's a guy that plays a robot, and he does a great job
Yeah.
of
Beep
acting
boop?
like a robot.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like beep boop beep boop beep bop boop 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 beep.
Well,
beep,
he does. He looks like a human,
Yeah,
but he's a robot. And I'm saying the actor does a great job of being a robot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
So-
very immersive.
beep boop
Yeah.
though.
And he doesn't do any beat boops.
No.
Oh,
It's like an android, like a very humanoid android, kind of like in Blade Runner. Fun fact, Blade Runner and Alien are set in the same universe, apparently.
I remember you telling me that a while
that's
ago.
interesting.
Yeah.
Good job, Harrison Ford. Go off, King.
Yeah. It's Ridley Scott. You can thank Ridley Scott for that.
I'll thank Harrison Ford.
So
Cool. It's a good movie then.
Yeah, it's
I've,
good.
I've
You guys
got,
liked
movie.
I've got one more final question, because it seems
Mhm,
like
yeah.
the last two conversations, only 50% of us were part of. Me
Yeah.
being in both of those.
yeah.
But this one, I feel like you guys have a lot of, you have more experience with this than I, because I'm just recently been getting into this world. But how do we feel about the world of mods in video games?
I like them. I don't dabble too much into them, but like when I do, I'm like, hey, it's fun. I've watched tons of videos on mods. It's like, that's cool. Probably never download it, but that's cool.
When I first got a computer, I thought mods were like the only thing you could do on computers. I thought you buy computer games just so you could mod them, just because that's what you can't do on your consoles. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, cool, let's do this. And so I did it for about a week or two. I'm like, well, this is boring.
Yeah.
There's two distinctions, right? So, in my opinion, like something like Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, like having new maps and stuff, technically you could list those off as a mod. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to count them as a mod. They're almost like just more downloadable content, if you will, in my mind. That said, when it comes to modding a game to add more things to it, like Minecraft, for example, you're adding a bunch of new stuff to Minecraft. I don't give a crap about that. If someone asks me to play Minecraft, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll play Minecraft. And they say, oh, we're going to have to download these mods for it. I'm instantly out. I will not play with them anymore because I just don't care. I don't think they're
you're
fun.
a vanilla lad.
I'm a vanilla lad. And that's pretty much like 90%, 99% of the games I play. I want to play them vanilla because I think there's just too much going on at that point. Minecraft already has way too much going on already. You want to freaking throw in computers and crap like that in there too? Like,
Yeah.
you do
Well-
you, bro. That's not me. That's
Well,
not for me.
Here's the thing. One of our friends, I bought a new computer recently, and our friend, you probably know Luke, he hasn't never really had a computer, so it's like, all right, I'll loan you this one. If you want to get it, you're gonna have to pay me though. If you want to keep it, but it's a loan right now. And so, what he's done recently is that with his other friends from Florida, he's modded Skyrim. He did the Skyrim co-op. He did a bunch of other mods like cosmetic mods, all that stuff. He's just been modding it. And like he's really having fun, mostly because he also did the mods for the 360 version or the Xbox One version of Skyrim, whatever it was, because they allow mods on that version. So he loves it. He like probably every game he's gonna play, he's probably like, oh, what are the mods like this? And he's had a lot of his friends help him put the mods in and make it work. And it's like, yeah, he really likes the idea of mods, and he's probably going to mod every game. We actually were playing a modded game with him, which is called Elden Ring. We were doing the seamless co-op mod. Now, usually you play Elden Ring, you usually play it alone in the base game, and when you need help, you can summon a friend to fight a boss for you. You can't really summon them in the outside, really. But with this seamless co-op, you can put your friends in throughout the whole game and like run around with them, fight bosses, all that stuff. And we were having a lot of fun. There was this one enemy, he like looked all intimidating tough, and we just surround him and just gank him and just like he's dead. It was fun.
I will say my experience with mods, I was very similar to Cole. In I didn't have a computer growing up, but I watched a ton of YouTube videos on mods and whatnot. And the first two that I ever was aware of was, once again, Minecraft, like Cole mentioned, because tons of people were modding Minecraft at the time. This was probably 2011, 2012. And then Gary's mod was the other one that...
See, Gary's mod's interesting because
it's like a game.
It's like that's the point of the game, is to just add new content, new mods to it.
Right, but it's a mod of Half-Life
originally, yeah. And so that one I don't know if I count as modding it if you're playing different things.
It's kind of like it was a mod of Half-Life, and then it's actually more of a working off the source engine rather than Half-Life 2 in general.
Correct.
They just worked it off the source engine, got all the models from different source engine games, and pretty much it became its own thing that Valve was like, yeah, go ahead.
Go off, Kings.
Yeah, go off, Kings.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's technically, even if you want to be technical about it, that definitely would count. Every time you join a server, it makes you download a bunch of stuff, whatever they have in their server. But for the most part, you're just playing little game modes like Trouble in Terrorist Town or Prop Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, mods are pretty cool.
My favorite part about them is at some point, and going back to how Cole brought up Minecraft, when I first got into Minecraft, I played a ton of it with Thane and some of our other friends, and we definitely hit a cap of this is how much Minecraft vanilla had to offer. We had interacted with probably 80 to 90% of it. I think the one thing that I didn't really dive into too much because it just was over my head and I couldn't understand it was redstone stuff, because people were making full-on computers inside Minecraft. However, once we hit that content cap, I wanted more, and that's where mods come in. I remember I played the Tekka mod probably 4 or 5 years ago at this point, and it was super cool. Granted, Minecraft as it sits now has had several updates, and it has so much content that you can interact with that you probably wouldn't need any more mods. But mods do change the game almost so much to where it doesn't even feel like the original game at all.
Yeah, that's why I like vanilla, because I like the original games.
Yeah, there's another game, that we were playing for a while, and the base game, while fun, we'd hit a wall eventually.
Right, we hit the content cap.
And 7 Days to Die, and it's and also the game was still in alpha, so it was in early access, and it did release 1.0 recently, but nothing much has changed other than player character models look so much better than those weird scraggly looking homeless people that they've had in the alphas. And we eventually were you know what? My friend Jordan's hey, you know what? You guys want to try a modded version called Darkness Falls? And we're yeah, let's try it. This mod is right now still in the alpha version of the game, so you don't have the benefits of the 1.0 version, but it's just a different version of 7 Days to Die.
And it adds so much more content, though. The content cap now is, instead of being this, it's now this.
Yeah, you actually have classes. They give you a class book, and you can do different classes, and then you can add more class to that, so you can max out all the classes. And it's this is cool. And have all these benefits for all these different tools and weapons that I can use. And there's a new radiated zone. They added a radiated zone where you have to wear hazmat suits, and there's really rare equipment, and there's demons in there, which we haven't got to yet, but it was yeah.
See, and I think going back to how Cole mentioned that he dislikes mods because he enjoys the vanilla games, I enjoy the vanilla game as well, but what I really like about mods is it does feel like I'm playing a different game entirely. So I'm getting a whole new experience. Although it's still rooted in familiarity, I'm getting an entire new experience. And Thane already mentioned that we started playing the Elden Ring Seamless Co-op mod. That is so much fun. Yeah. Although it is still Elden Ring, playing with 4 people breaks the game entirely. Yeah. I will not disagree with that, but I'm still having so much fun with it.
Sometimes when you get on Torrent, your horse, I like to call him Torrent because that's a cool name. Like I say 10% of the time, people will like disappear and you can't see them. Other times they'll be like floating off the ground and glitching around.
So yeah, I wasn't even mostly talking about bugs. I'm talking about the balance of the game is completely broken. Yeah. Like Thane already mentioned, there was a boss. There was 4 of us playing, and there was a boss in a room. And you probably wouldn't have that much trouble playing single player, but all 4 of us bum rushed this boss, got him into a corner. He couldn't move or attack. We murdered him in probably 30 seconds.
Yeah, that boss, he didn't stand a chance. Another boss was like a giant stone troll. He was a bit harder. We died several times. There's still some bosses that are hard, but like eventually like, okay, we know how to, we got this guy down. We know how to fight him. Let's do it. And then there's another boss that was on a bridge. He was I think called Night Sentinel or a Night Watch. And he wiped the floor with all of us. Like we could not even like get him down to half health. It's still challenging at parts, but it's like if you have everyone level up, find better equipment, and have all the equipment upgraded, you can cheese anything pretty much with 4-5 of your friends. This game allows 6-player co-op, which is insane. Like I think 4 players would probably like be enough, but like 6 players, you can have 6 friends, and sometimes
sweep through the game.
And sometimes we're running through catacombs. I feel like we're in like a D&D session, just like with a party, just running through and killing things. It's like, this is cool. This is so. I would like a legit game like this. I think From Software should like look at this mod and be like, that could be our next game.
I think the hardest part about it is trying to balance a game with 4 people, making different decisions, different builds. I mean, how do you create enough enemies or enemies powerful enough to combat 4 different characters?
I'm very surprised, Luke, with the mage build, because like that's a very technical and very strategic build. You have to like really think about your placements.
I bet he grinded all night. I'm not even joking. I bet he grinded all night.
Yeah, he probably did.
But I guess to wrap up this conversation, I really love mods, and I think that mods are made for big fans of whatever the game is. Take something like Skyrim. People that love that game and have played it for the last decade or so probably, I would argue, have interacted with tons and tons of the mods. That's what keeps the game fresh. It also goes back to, like, I know last time we talked about Bungie and how awesome Forge was. I think that mods, in my head, I kind of see them akin to that. It's allowing players to continue to make content updates for a game, making it infinitely replayable. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big fan of mods. I wish it's something that I delved in years ago, but here we are.
Yeah. And it's funny how I praised Alien, because if I think about it, because they're technically owned by Disney now.
We made it full circle, everybody.
The full circle.
Well,
but yeah, don't mod any Disney stuff, or else they might come and whack you. And he said, you can't sue us.
Don't mod your tombstone with Mickey Mouse or Spider-Man. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 2 weeks for episode 200.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hopefully we get our special guest on there, but bye.
Keep it rad.
Keep it rad.